Have you ever looked up and seen what looks like a giant mushroom towering over your town? Maybe you've noticed it while driving through a neighborhood, or perhaps it's always been there in the background, quietly blending into the skyline. These massive structures with their bulbous tops and long sturdy legs can seem almost otherworldly at first glance. No, not that kind of mushroom. What you're seeing isn't a strange plant or a leftover prop from a science fiction movie. It's something much more practical and much more important to our daily lives than you might think. I'm talking about water towers. These giants are everywhere, scattered across cities, towns, and even the most rural landscapes. Some are painted with bright colors or town names, while others are plain and utilitarian, but all of them serve a vital purpose. Water towers have been a part of our communities for over a century. They were first built to solve a simple but crucial problem: how to make sure everyone had enough water, even when demand was high or the power went out. Over time, they've become landmarks, symbols of hometown pride, and sometimes even canvases for local artists. At their core, water towers are tall structures with big tanks perched on top, but there's more to them than meets the eye. Their height isn't just for show, it's essential. By elevating water high above the ground, these towers use gravity to create water pressure, ensuring that water can flow easily into homes and businesses, even on the highest floors. They might not be the flashiest things in town, and you probably don't think about them much, but water towers quietly do an amazing job. They stand watch over neighborhoods day and night through storms and sunshine, making sure that when you turn on the tap, water is always there. Imagine waking up in the morning, brushing your teeth, making coffee, or taking a shower. All of these simple routines depend on a steady supply of water, and that's where water towers come in. They store thousands, sometimes millions of gallons of water, ready to be delivered at a moment's notice. In emergencies like fires or power outages, water towers are even more critical. Because they rely on gravity, they can keep water flowing when pumps fail or electricity is lost. Firefighters depend on them to provide the pressure needed to battle blazes and protect our homes. Water towers are like silent guardians of our water supply. They don't make a fuss or draw attention to themselves, but they're always there, standing tall above the treetops and rooftops, quietly doing their job. They work behind the scenes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't complain, and they never take a day off. Whether it's the middle of the night or the hottest day of summer, they're always on duty, making sure our communities have the water they need. Thanks to a network of underground pipes, water towers keep the water flowing smoothly to every faucet, every shower, and every garden hose. It's a system so reliable that most of us never even think about it, until something goes wrong. Next time you're out and about, take a moment to look up. See if you can spot one of these gentle giants watching over your town. Maybe you'll notice one on your daily commute, or while you're on a road trip with your family. Some communities even celebrate their water towers, turning them into works of art or gathering places for local events. They're more than just infrastructure, they're part of the story of where we live. You might be surprised how many you've never noticed before. So the next time you see a water tower, remember, it's not just a quirky landmark, it's a vital part of your community, quietly working to keep life flowing for everyone. So, how do these water towers work? It's all about gravity. But let's break it down a bit more, because the way water towers use gravity is both simple and brilliant. Imagine a giant container perched high above the ground, quietly doing its job day and night. You might see these towers in cities, towns, or even out in the countryside, standing tall above everything else. But why are they up there, and what makes them so important for our daily lives? Gravity is a powerful force. It's the same force that makes rivers flow downhill, rain fall from the sky, and waterfalls crash down with incredible energy. Without gravity, water would just float around, never settling, never flowing, and certainly never reaching your faucet with any pressure. It pulls everything towards the center of the earth. That includes water, of course, but also everything else you can think of. Cars rolling down a hill, a ball bouncing down the street, or even the rain that falls from the clouds. Gravity is always at work, shaping the way our world functions. Water towers use this force to their advantage. By storing water high above the ground, they harness gravity to create water pressure naturally, without the need for constant pumping. This clever use of height means that even during power outages, water can still flow to homes and businesses, as long as there's water in the tank. Think of it like a big pitcher of water. If you've ever poured yourself a glass, you know that the higher you hold the pitcher, the faster and harder the water pours out. The same principle applies to water towers, just on a much larger scale. When you lift the pitcher, the water inside wants to flow down. The higher you lift it, the more energy the water has as it falls, and the more forcefully it pours out. This is gravity in action, turning potential energy into movement and pressure. The higher you lift it, the more force it has. That's why water towers are built so tall. They need to be high enough to create enough pressure to push water through miles of pipes, up into apartment buildings, and out through your shower head or kitchen faucet. Water towers work the same way. They store thousands, sometimes millions of gallons of water in tanks that can be over 100 feet above the ground. This height gives the water enough pressure to travel long distances and reach even the highest floors of tall buildings. The water is stored high up in the tank, waiting to be used. When you turn on your tap, gravity does the work, pulling the water down through a network of pipes that snake beneath streets and buildings, all the way to your home. Gravity pulls it down, creating pressure in the pipes. This pressure is what makes water flow quickly and reliably. Whether you're filling a bathtub, washing dishes, or watering your garden, it's a free, renewable source of energy that never stops working. This pressure pushes the water through the pipes and right into our homes. Thanks to the simple power of gravity and the clever design of water towers, we get clean, pressurized water whenever we need it, no matter where we live or what time of day it is. Next time you see a water tower, remember, it's not just a landmark, it's a silent hero, delivering free water pressure to your community every single day. The design of a water tower is all about maximizing gravity's power. Water towers are more than just landmarks on the horizon. They are carefully engineered structures that use height to create water pressure, ensuring that water can travel efficiently through pipes to homes and businesses. The basic principle is simple. The higher the water is stored, the more forcefully it can flow downwards thanks to gravity. But the details of how this is achieved are fascinating. The higher the tank, the stronger the water pressure. This is why you'll often see water towers rising above everything else in a town or city. By elevating the tank, engineers can guarantee that water will reach even the upper floors of tall buildings and flow with enough force to meet daily needs, from washing dishes to fighting fires. That's why water towers are so tall. Their impressive height isn't just for show, it's a crucial part of their function. In fact, the height of a water tower is often determined by the tallest building it needs to serve, plus a little extra to ensure consistent pressure during peak usage times. They need to be higher than the tallest buildings they serve. This way, gravity can do its job, pushing water down through the pipes and into every apartment, office, and home, no matter how high up they are. This ensures enough pressure to reach every faucet and shower head. Imagine turning on your tap and having only a trickle come out. Without the right pressure, daily life would be a lot more difficult. Water towers make sure that doesn't happen, providing a steady, reliable flow for everything from morning showers to emergency sprinklers. The pressure created by the height of the water tower is measured in pounds per square inch, or PSI. Most homes need at least 40 to 60 PSI for comfortable water use, and the tower's elevation is calculated to deliver just that, even during times of high demand. The shape of the tank also matters. While the classic round tank is common, you might also see spheroid, ellipsoid, or even rectangular designs, each chosen for specific engineering reasons. The most common shape is like a giant lollipop or mushroom. This iconic design isn't just for aesthetics, it's actually a very efficient way to store large volumes of water while keeping the structure stable and safe. This design helps distribute the weight of the water evenly. The wide, rounded tank sits atop a narrow pedestal, allowing the heavy load to be supported by a strong central column. This not only saves on building materials, but also makes the tower more resistant to wind and weather. Building a water tower is a complex process. Engineers must calculate the weight of the water, the strength of the materials, and the forces of wind and weather. Every detail, from the thickness of the steel to the shape of the foundation, is carefully planned to ensure safety and reliability. Engineers carefully choose the location of each water tower. Placement is just as important as design because the tower needs to serve as many people as possible and provide consistent pressure across a wide area. They consider the height of the land and the layout of the town. Sometimes a natural hill is used to give the tower extra elevation, making it even more effective. Other times the tower is built in the center of a community to serve the greatest number of homes and businesses. In larger cities, multiple water towers may be strategically placed to create pressure zones, ensuring that every neighborhood gets the water it needs, no matter how far from the source. The goal is to provide the best possible water pressure to everyone. Through careful design and thoughtful placement, water towers quietly support our daily lives, making sure that clean, pressurized water is always just a turn of the tap away. Here's a cool thing about water towers. They don't need to run on electricity all the time. They store energy in a very simple way, by storing water at a height. It's like a battery that uses gravity instead of chemicals. During times of low water use, like at night, pumps fill the tower. This stored water is ready to go when demand increases. This means the pumps don't have to work as hard during peak hours. This saves energy and money. It also makes the water system more reliable. You might be thinking, water towers seem kind of old-fashioned. Don't we have fancy new technology for water systems? Well, it's true, there are lots of high-tech pumps and sensors available today. But water towers still have some important advantages. First up, simplicity. Water towers are relatively simple to build and maintain. They don't require complex electronics or software. Next, reliability. Water towers are incredibly reliable. They aren't affected by power outages or computer glitches. And finally, sustainability. Water towers are a sustainable way to manage water pressure. They use gravity, a free and renewable resource. Cities and towns still rely on water towers for a good reason. They work. They've been around for over a century, and honestly, they have a proven track record of reliability. Water towers are also very cost-effective, you know. They require minimal maintenance compared to other systems, and they can last for decades with proper care. This really makes them a smart investment for communities. Water towers are especially important during emergencies. Just imagine there's a power outage. Your lights go out, but your water still works. That's because the water tower is there to provide pressure even without electricity. Water towers also play a critical role in firefighting. They provide a ready reserve of water for firefighters to tap into. And honestly, this can be life-saving in a fire emergency. Water towers might not be the most glamorous structures, but they are a testament to the power of simple engineering. They're a perfect example of how gravity can be harnessed to solve everyday problems. Next time you see a water tower, just take a moment to appreciate it. It's a symbol of ingenuity, reliability, and the essential role that engineering plays in our lives. Water towers have stood the test of time, but will they be around forever? As technology advances, we might see new and innovative ways to manage water pressure. However, it's likely that water towers will continue to play an essential role in many communities. Their simplicity, reliability, and cost